What did you make of Ephro's draft?
It looked really bad toward the end of pack 2, but then he really got hooked up in the third pack. Got a lot of powerful blue cards. A Naru came to him third pick, and he was blue-red, and everything kind of fell into place. I'm not sure how many playables he really has together. He doesn't have like a great deck, but what his deck is capable of is very good. So, pretty impressed with it.
All right, well, off to the racers here with Petr. Quende, Pride Ephemeref here pulled to the front of this pack, and it is going to be what he picks out of this pack. Not an extremely high power level pack, but Quende, better than a lot of people thought initially.
Yeah, Quende has some really nice combos in this set. I think Warlord's Fury is perhaps the most exciting combination with Quende.
Here's Valda, Keeper of the Flame, and a Fiery Intervention, as well as a blink of an eye in this pack. What do you like here, JVL?
It's going really fast. I feel like you probably want to be taking something like Valduk if you first picked the Quende. But I think blue-white is also a very reasonable type of deck. I like that he took the Valduk here.
Valduk here, the pickup for Petr. Finals team draft here. This is for all the marbles. Divination here pulled to the front for Petr. Vicious Offering, third, as well as a Shauna. Davenant Trapper also pulled to the front.
Yeah, this is a very good pack. I think you take Vicious Offering here. Trapper is the on-color card for him after his first pick, but I don't love passing premium instant speed removal when I'm playing in a team draft. The Trapper goes along with the cards he's already picked up.
All right, so Trapper is the pickup here. Triumph of Giraud. I see hiding out in this pack, Caligo Skin Witch and a Whisper Blood Liturgist, as well as a Blood Tallow Candle. Triumph of Giraud, one of the sagas that's kind of failed to impress me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel like Triumph of Giraud is not the greatest of cards, but that was a pretty weak pack, to be honest. I think the best card there was probably the Caligo Skin Witch.
All right, so Triumph is the pickup for Petr here. Taking a look through this pack, once again, nothing standing out to me too much, JBL. Invoke the Divine is kind of shuffling around near the front of this pack for him.
Yeah, Bloodstone Goblin maybe, the pick here.
Yep, Bloodstone Goblin is going to be the pickup to go along with Valduk, our other red card that we've already taken. Knight of New Benalia here. We could see him go red-white aggro, which is the deck that actually took down Grand Prix DFW not too long ago.
Yeah, Knight of New Benalia, I believe, is almost certainly going to be the pick here. He already has a decent number of white cards. Sees another Knight here.
Another one. Pairs well with the Courser. Can fly into the air for 3 points of damage. One of my favorite little two-card mini combos in Dominaria.
Yeah, I've gotten run over a few times by the combination of Knight of New Benalia with Tetsuko.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's take a look here. A Rune Amok, which is pretty much exactly where you want to be if you're drafting red-white. Blood Tallow Candle, though, a fine removal spell.
And Rune Amok combos very nicely with Knight of New Benalia also.
All right, that is the pick. So we are getting aggressive here. Radiating Lightning left in this pack. Invoke the Divine.
And I like taking Radiating Lightning. I think there's a lot of one-toughness things that trade against the Knight of New Benalia he already picked up, like Saprolings and whatnot, and Radiating Lightning is a great way to punish opponents if they happen to be playing that type of deck. Good sideboard card.
Healing Grace here, the pick for Petr as we kind of round out pack number 1 here. Shield of the Realm, Orcish Vandal, not a lot going on. But you could put a shield on a Valduk. Not the best, but you could. Arcane Flight here. Rounding out the picks for Petr. Skirk Prospector. Not going to make the cut, but we're taking it. And final card of the draft added to the pile. All right, what do you think of pack 1 here for Petr?
He didn't have a lot of great options. There weren't very many powerful cards. He could have dipped into black and maybe ended up with a little bit more powerful of a deck at this stage of the draft, but considering where his early picks led him, I think that in the red-white archetype, he picked his cards well. I do think his power level is very low after a pack 1. We see his deck just looks like kind of a pile of 2-drops, and I think that it's very possible his opponent plays a single creature with 4 or 5 toughness, and he finds himself out in the cold here.
Yeah, just Cold Water Snapper. Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, if his opponent plays a card like Cold Water Snapper and he does not have Rune Amok in his hand, he's going to find himself in a very bad position.
You know, Dominaria, talked about it a lot, is a format that allows you to be slow, grindy, do really cool things, but the red-white deck is draftable and does keep those other decks honest. It has the ability through cards like Rune Amok. All right, let's take a look at what he's picked up here. Shivan Fire immediately pulled to the front.
And that's exactly the type of card he needs. He needs a way to clear the way so that he can keep getting in with these high-power, low-toughness creatures that he's been drafting thus far.
Oh, come on, take the Mox Amber. Just kidding. Yeah, Shivan Fire, efficient removal. Allows him to sometimes cast 2 things a turn, which is exactly what you want to be doing when you're playing aggro. I feel bad for that little guy in the art, just getting roasted by that dragon.
That does not look fun at all.
Short Sword here goes with the Valda. What else can we find? A Blessed Light, though, in this pack, and a Knight of Grace.
Yeah, Knight of Grace, a premium 2-drop in a format with that many we get 2-drops. Blessed Light, though, premium removal, instant speed, exiles the creature. One of the few answers to Multani, the best card in the set, in my opinion. But I think he may take Knight of Grace here with the type of deck he's trying to draft.
He just wants a good, solid early threat.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what he took, Knight of Grace. Short Sword once again in this pack. Squee over here, and a Pegasus Courser.
Oh, Pegasus Courser is exactly what Petr wants for a deck like this. You know, tons of 3-power creatures that cost 2 mana. He's going to cast this Pegasus Courser, and if his opponent doesn't have a removal spell for it soon, it's going to win the game for him.
Pegasus Courser, one of my favorite cards to draft for sure. Evasion, grants evasion. Cheap. Taking a look through here, what do we have for him? Another Knight of New Benalia.
He's also taking a look at Jota, which is splashable, I suppose.
Yeah, Jota, I mean, you don't see it cast very often, but it is a 4/3 flyer.
I imagine he's just going to take another Knight here.
Knight of New Benalia, number 3, added to the stack for Petr. Sochurek, here in our finals team draft. Players sitting every other with their teammates. Joyr's Familiar, Fervent Strike. Considerations, there's also a Sgt Atarms. Just going to take the owl.
Yeah, Joyr's Familiar, and that may seem surprising to a lot of people, especially with the Sergeant in the pack. You know, kind of a better card, also on color for him. But with what his deck is trying to do, he's trying to win the game quickly before his opponent can, contain how he's attaining victory. So just having a flyer there is pretty important for a deck like his. Keldon Overseer here, hasty creature. In the later stages of the game, has the ability to steal an opponent's flyer while also giving you a clear path so you can get in with your own. Pretty good reach in the late game.
All right, we're considering here a Sorcerer's Wand, potentially. Get to Journey Mage, just a kind of a solid creature here.
Yeah, Get to Journey Mage is basically just a 3/2 for 3. I'm very surprised he took the wand there. Petr's deck in the last draft was my favorite deck we've seen so far in the team draft portion. The deck with the all those Get to Chroniclers.
Oh, that's right. That was his deck.
Yeah.
Oh, it was sweet. Buying back all of his spells, going infinite loops, potentially.
Yeah, he had the infinite loop going with the Soul Salvage.
Short Sword here. Good pickup.
Yeah, Short Sword, a good way to make it so that your 3/1s aren't just trading with Saprolings and 1/3s.
Now he's going to take that Jota. Probably not going to make the final cut, but also keeping it from someone else. Fervent Strike here.
And Fervent Strike is, again, a card that's quite good in the deck that he's trying to draft right now.
We're going to add an Elephant to the stack of playables for Petr. Rounding out pack number 2. Dampening Spear, keep that for Modern. All right, 2 packs deep here, JVL. How did that pack help him so far?
Again, he's on plan. You know, he decided he was going to be an aggressive red-white deck, and he took the cards for the aggressive red-white deck. There were some picks there that seemed a bit odd to me. Sorcerer's Wand, I was really surprised by. I have not drafted a deck that was this focused on doing what he is trying to do, so I'm going to be interested to see how it plays out, but yeah, I think that if his plan is to end the game as quickly as possible, then he is definitely on the path to completing his goal, and his deck has a goal, and he is completing that goal right now. That's the first time we've really seen that in any of these drafts that we've watched in the top 4 so far.
All right, pretty straightforward red-white deck. Not a lot of hate going on, which you sometimes see in a team draft. We've talked about it all throughout these finals. The only card that you can kind of point to is Jota, but that might even make the cut. You never know. I drafted a Sorcerer's Wand once in an excellent Wizards deck that I drafted, but I never got to play it because I just killed my opponent. It was completely unnecessary. If you draft a strong Wizards deck, it just doesn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, it does give you reach, but it's the type of card that doesn't really affect the board in any sort of way. So you not only have to have already had your aggression dealt with, but then you also need something to be able to stick around.
Ooh, Goblin Barrage here in this pack, as well as the Weatherlight here for Petr.
Yeah, and Weatherlight is just a great card. The fact that it has Crew 3 and his deck is a pile of Knight of Nubenalias is just perfect for him. I mean, this is a 4/5 flyer for 4 that can't get killed by sorcery speed removal, and I can't imagine a world where he's going to take a card besides Weatherlight here.
Yeah, we saw Weatherlight this weekend play out in Team Sealed earlier, and it was so excellent because, as you said, most of the removal is sorcery speed.
Yeah, and when they only have sorcery speed removal, they're not going to be killing the vehicle. And he has a lot of things that have 3 power that only cost 2, so it's going to be very easy for him to crew that thing.
All right, here's a question. There's a Yawgmoth's Vile Offering in this deck, but there's also a Unicorn. Do you want to take it away? It doesn't look like he's interested.
I might take Warcry Phoenix.
Okay.
I like that Kenji put that up on screen for me here. I now see Petr taking it. I think that the card is absolutely perfect for the deck that he's trying to draft.
Hasty Flyer. Potential to come back from the dead. Adamant Will here would be a nice pickup. Also Memorial to Glory in this pack for Petr.
I think Adamant Will, a likely pick here.
He's actually going to take the Memorial. Can make 2 white soldier creature tokens for 4 and tap and sack.
Yeah, very good card. Always going to make the cut when you're playing white, allowing him to go wide pretty well, getting those final points of damage. Also combos pretty nicely with the Warcry Phoenix that he picked up pretty reasonably.
Yeah, that's right. So Petr's draft going kind of according to plan here as far as red-white aggro goes. Sarah Disciple.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a ton of historic cards to trigger that. So in many ways, this is a little bit too Suntail hockey for my liking. However, I mean, it's certainly the best card for the type of deck that he's drafting.
Flying First Strike, little burb. Benalish Honor Guard here. You saw him stop on that, but there's an Aven Sentry in the pack.
Yeah, and Aven Sentry is a flyer, which he's not got enough of, and at the rate of a 3/2 for 4 mana in the air, that's a card that you're very, very happy to pick up and is going to make your deck basically 100% of the time when you're playing a white deck in this format.
All right, so we saw Ifro draft a little earlier. Now we're watching Petr, and we're going to see them play against each other. So it's pretty interesting to watch both of these players draft. There's a Pegasus Courser number 2. Fantastic addition to his deck.
Yeah, absolutely incredible here. And because we know he's playing against Eric Froelich, we know that he's not going to be playing against somebody who's producing Saprolings, and that all of these 1 toughness Knight of Nubenalias are actually going to be very real threats against somebody like Eric.
A dub here. Good for getting in damage, making your creature larger. Ooh, but there's a Rune Amok. Rune Amok number 2 for Petr. Sochurek.
A glider, perhaps?
Another Bloodstone Goblin too, but maybe he's interested in the evasion. Sure enough. 2-1 flyer, can't block. How have you found the glider in this format?
I dislike it a lot against white and blue opponents, but against just about anybody else, I like it quite a bit.
Adamant will hear the pickup, so plenty of tricks to go along with his aggro strategy, which is kind of right where you want to be. See if he can mow down his opponents quickly.
And now we're kind of at the dregs of the pack.
Get to Lava Runner. Not going to make the cut. Oh, but there is a Banalish Honor Guard, which very well might end up in the deck.
Yeah, it's a 2/2 for 2, which is certainly what he's looking for. I think the Void is even a reasonable card for a deck like his.
Yeah, that Scry can be worth a card at some points in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Elemental and Tragic Poet rounding out pack number 3. Here for Petr. All right, overall grade time, JVL. What do you think?
I think I'm going to give this deck I give it a 6.
Is that good?
I think so for team draft. When you're team drafting, your deck often ends up pretty bad. And this deck, he had a plan going into the draft. He took his first couple picks, and he executed that plan beautifully. And with every single pick, his deck just became more and more focused, and his plan is to run an opponent over, and I imagine he is going to run